go high to beat. Stopping in, we've been tapping in. We ain't never late. Dropping gems, we've been locking in. Now let's elevate. Took else to win, running laps again. This is steady race. People's champ, boy, yeah, you know I've been the heavyweight. Stopping in, we've been tapping in. We ain't never late. Dropping gems, we've been locking in. Now let's elevate. Took else to win, running laps again. This is steady race. People's champ, boy, yeah, you know I've been the heavyweight.
This meeting is being recorded.
Those made me twerk that whole camera. What's going on, everybody? It is episode 30. The big Trey Zero in the building. It is Sunday, February 27th. We are the Heavyweight Bros. I am your host, the 5XL Assassin, the diabolical diabetic, your boy, the big nasty. And the hitter to the right of me, I always want to say the left of me, but you ain't never to the left of me. To the right of me is the high yellow hitman, the freaking deacon, Coach Buck, Uncle Razor in the building. How are you doing?
What you think I'm gonna say?
It's pod day,
it's
baby.
Pod day, baby. I'm feeling good. But no,
biggest thing in my itty bitty pod.
Bitty pod. But no, it's it's highs and lows. It's pod time, but it's also the end of the weekend. It's time to go to work. You know what I mean? It's tomorrow. So it is what it is, man. I'm in a different mindset today.
I can't wait till this becomes work.
Right.
I'm okay with that.
Right.
Trying to make that thing work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at.
Right. Are you gonna quit your job?
If we start making like real money off of this, without a doubt, I might quit my job this year regardless of that.
What? Cut it out.
But I'm just saying, like, I talk like the potential of movement and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
there's that there. So like,
don't go.
Don't leave me, girl.
All right, how you doing?
I'm tired, bro.
Like
I'm just saying, like, we're on vacation week, and it was like I feel like I just had like a lot going on, and it was just like a heavy vacation, and it was like the fact that tomorrow's work, I'm just like I'm sorry.
I would have got a different impression, man.
Really?
Yeah, man, because I'm sitting here, at the crib, feet up. I just got back from Times Square. I was in Times Square with wifey, and I started flicking through, updating the
Hey, we don't need to talk about that.
I don't care what you're saying, man. I see my homie in the mall, button up, living
it was pink.
It was mauve, living his best life. I was like, look at my guy. Look at my guy. Look at my guy.
That's why I'm tired.
I feel you. No, yeah, but I get it. Yeah, it's definitely like, sometimes, and I think we talked about this last time during the Raising That, where we were just like, being able to just appreciate the time. It goes by so fast before you look back and be like, hey, man, I should have did this or did that. You know what I mean? And even if that's as simple as I should have just took the day to do nothing.
Yeah, that's normally what my days are.
But hey, we here though.
Yeah,
we here though.
It's just like, I don't know how I feel about quick turnarounds. Like my boy G had over at Custom Merch with the quick turnarounds, you know what I'm saying? You catch him on IG and Etsy at Custom Merch. Drop a promo code Heavyweight Bros. That's HW, the number 8 BROS, to save you 10% off your purchase. Because the more you spend,
the more you save.
And then also another shout out to our boy Young King for the intro. I don't think we thanked him last time either.
We did?
I don't think so.
We'll thank him twice. Try it again.
And that boy Young King, you know what I'm saying? You can find him over at SoundCloud, IG, YouTube. Go look at the man's stuff. He's got a lot going on. You know what I mean? Potential videos should be coming up, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
We always say we like to support Black owned. We always wait until Black owned blows up, and then we be like, I've been here since day one. Where's you?
Where's you?
Where's you? But yeah, you want to jump right into it?
Yeah, I think we should keep it like, like we seem like we're putting on for the city and stuff like that. So I feel like it's coming home again. Do you think about me now and then? Do you think about me now and then? 'Cause I'm coming home again. It's time for some home cooking. With Big Nasty and Uncle Raisin.
Hey, all right. So not much going on, but a lot going on to those it matters to. The Central boys basketball team clinched their Division A title, beating the Chicopee Pacers 78-55. I'm pretty sure the score wasn't a depiction of how good the game might have been. Shout out to the Chicopee Pacers for a great season, and shout out to the Central Eagles for getting that title. Things do look a little different this here he goes. Here he goes.
Golden Eagles, baby.
Things do look a little different this year though, because there's like a new bracket system.
Okay.
So once you win your division, I think every winner of each division plays each other like in a bracket March Madness type system. So excited to see how that looks, so it's more basketball, more competition, and more opportunity for these fellas to get exposures and see, what it looks like to play at the top level. So
I gotta talk about one of these fellas in particular.
Oh, there's a freshman on the team. He's my son.
Come on, man.
He had a little 3 in the game yesterday.
So now it's a little 3.
Yeah, man. He has a little 3 ball, man. He's a little 3 ball, man. He's got a lot. He's got a lot of work to do, but he is working hard. So I am proud of him. He had a stellar freshman season. He ended up getting called up to varsity. And he got some time. So I'm pretty sure.
So man, you better say it with your chest and start putting it up for your son, man. I don't know why you said, I don't know, lackadaisical with his with his stuff.
Because I know what his greatness is, man. So I know he's still got a lot of ladders to climb, So we ain't gonna settle for where we are now because we always try and break through the next ceiling. He knows that. It ain't about hate. It's about, making sure that he's always seeing where his greatness could be. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like my bad.
But yeah, shout out to the Central Eagles. Shout out to little homie Des, man. I'm proud of him. He knows it. I tell him all the time.
The delicious looking red juice we got
there.
Whatever.
We took the brapping off. We're not sponsoring nobody. If anybody can guess what it is, I'll give you a free shirt. But it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. If you can guess what flavor it is, I'll give you 2 shirts.
Agreed to this.
They're never gonna guess the flavor because this is that exclusive.
This is pretty exclusive.
It is pretty exclusive.
Heavyweight bros. I hear that noise all the time.
Oh my God. All right, moving on. Since we want to be inappropriate, I'll go ahead and bring up a topic that I would hate to not have to bring up, but I know it's something that you has been out there and like
digging in the crates.
This is definitely digging in the crates. No diggity, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
So we always like to talk about releasing music and classic music. Seems like Big Sean is releasing things other than music. I don't know.
There was no way I thought that you were gonna actually want to talk about this.
I don't want to talk about it, but
you brought it up.
I brought it up because it's content. It's content, and I'm over it. You want to move on?
No. So Big Sean's. You want to bring it up? Do you know?
I got you. No, I got my tennis racket ready. I'm smacking everything away. I got you.
Speaking of tennis rackets, so Big Sean, some of his nudes got released, and Twitter, let's just say, was on fire this morning because apparently he took a picture with his member next to a Nintendo Switch, and they were neck and neck, to say the least of it.
Way to ruin a childhood. Way to ruin a childhood. Right.
And I just want to point out that these ladies were very thorough. They went on, and you can see their Google search bar. They're like, how long is a Nintendo Switch? 9.4 inches, stuff that. And I was like, yo, the memes that came off of that. And I was just like, yo, man, shout out to the homie West Sean Don, boy.
Just release some records, bro.
Just release some records.
Just release some records. I feel like, and I hate to say it, but I feel like this is something that you do when like you ain't got nothing going on.
I used to say that, but like his last album, what was it, Detroit 2, it was okay. And I think he's getting ready to drop what is their group called? 2088 with him and Jhené Aiko, like when they do their collabs.
Please expand on this. I don't know anything about this.
Well, his girlfriend, longtime girlfriend, is Jhené Aiko.
I thought they broke up and wasn't together anymore. So.
That was a long time ago, and it was because of he had a battle with depression, stuff like that. He went to got some counseling or whatever, and then once he got back right, like they kind of got back together.
So who's the shorty he was dating that passed away?
Naya Rivera. That was like his first girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
That was like way back. Like she was still on Glee. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And then it was Ariana Grande, and then it was what you got. So like that's a lot of the memes too. Mm-hmm. Is like Ariana Grande, girl, how? That's what I keep seeing a lot of things. I seen one where it was like they have like the iPhone phone charger, and then they had an HDMI cord. I tell you, internet, it was crazy.
The internet's undefeated, man. You can't. Don't even know.
I was gonna say, I know. Like you keep trying to whatchamacallit. You don't want to see it. It's like that.
No, no. So I think it'd
be great pod content. You know what I mean?
So him and Jhené Aiko have a group.
Yeah. So like, they've put out an album before. They called themselves almost like Silk Sonic, where they do they call themselves 2088. And
what's 2088 from?
I don't know, but they spell it like the word spelt out 20 and then the numbers 88 after. Mm-hmm. I've listened to the album, the first one that came out, and like I want to say they explained it, but it was just like
It was an
nothing.
album?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
So
they dropped like
lost.
legit music.
When did the album come? Is it something old?
Like 2018, 19
That's
ish.
pretty
It's
old.
pretty old, yeah.
Sheesh.
But it's like, you know, it's been a while, and like they have been talking about like how they're gonna drop another album pretty soon. So it's like he's got some stuff going on, and then he just had the Drink Champs thing about Kanye, and then now the Kanye doc is out and stuff like that. So I'm assuming, and like I'm pretty sure he's gonna wind up being in this third episode.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and that's what threw me off. Well, should we just segue into Insomnia TV?
You just want to get as far away from Big Sean's thing as much.
I do. Yes. Yes.
Be careful.
Oh no! Come on, man. That's the tennis racket, bro. Go. I'm about to edit this. We don't never edit. We're about to edit today.
One take, boys. Come on, man. Like, what's going on?
Man, here you go. Can we segue? Go ahead. Fall asleep.
Wake me up inside.
Wake me up.
Wake me up inside.
Save me.
Save me from the nothing inside. You're gonna have to start giving me the energy that I'm giving you at some point in time, right?
All right, I got
It's like, yo, I don't know what's going on.
I feel like every time we segue, it's something that flattens the energy, though.
What do you mean?
Oh no, but I like it. We don't have copyrights in that. Just to be sure to keep putting that out there. I'm not sure when I publish this video, it says no issues.
Just no issues.
Right, just no issues. That's what it says. But yeah, so I'm jumping right into the Kanye doc.
Yep.
Did you watch episode 2?
Indeed, I did.
Great. What'd you think?
I thought it was outstanding. I've enjoyed the entire docu-series so far, and I can't wait for this third episode.
Definitely some ups and downs for me. I thought it was whack on Kanye when he was just like, I'm about to start shooting these videos. And the conversation he had with Cootie when he was just like, hey, man, this is a Hype Williams video. And it's like, to be your man, it's just like, yeah, I'm already thinking about video stuff. I've been here rocking with you from the gate. Now we here, and you like, this got to be Hype Williams. So you telling me I'm not Hype Williams level? Like, I'm
yeah,
not,
nigga.
like, nah, man, come on, man. And then for him to, for him to ultimately come back to his homie to like be like, yo, I need you to shoot this video because the other ones I wasn't feeling. You know what I mean? It was kind of like.
It would be like if you were releasing something and it's something that you had been working for a long time, and like we've been doing this podcast stuff, but you were like, yo, they're telling me that like I have to release this like at one point and it's like it's got to blow up, and you were just like, yo, man, I got to go on the Joe Budden podcast to release it. Like, what am I gonna be like? Oh, you're really gonna go on Joe Budden and not do it on here, brother? You better blow that shit up and then come back over here. What are you talking about?
I'm gonna bring you with me.
Yeah, I understand that, but it's like for the Jesus Walks video, like Hype Williams like is the guy. Like that's the number one.
I'm gonna bring you with me.
I understand that, and I am also understanding in the fact that like
even if I'm like, hey, Hype Williams is about to direct this video, I want you to video record the directing of this video. It's still gonna be a part of all this content. Like I don't know. I just thought it was kind of weird.
I just wonder if there was like a piece to that where like Cootie didn't want to do that part, or he was just like, yo, if I'm not gonna be a part of this video, like I'm not gonna do it. No, because then he wound up doing other videos as well.
Yeah, that's because Kanye was off doing his thing, and kind of was just like I won't say all set with Cootie, but like he was for a long.
He did say he wasn't answering his calls and stuff like that.
Right, but and when he first brought up the Hype Williams joint, he was like, I feel like we the next brothers up. I feel like we can do this video. And Kanye was kind of like, it's like a Hype Williams thing, and I was just like, oh, come on, fam. I kind of feel like you was Dame Dashing this homie.
You just did Through the Wire.
Okay, but he did Through the Wire because he didn't have no budget open for him. So Cootie was the guy who was rocking with him and could make this video with the other dude. I can't remember his name. I apologize. But it's just like now all of a sudden they done opened up the wallet for you to do stuff, and now you don't want to like. Why would you not want to spend that money on your boy? I'm not saying that I don't understand you. Like I understand that part, but it's like there's a part of me where it's like I understand. Like if. Let's just say like I had always been like your producer. You were making music. It's like, yo, like this is what we do. Like I make beats for you. Like we're a duo. And then it's like all of a sudden it's like, yo, I got a big single coming out. Timbaland's about to give me the beat. And stuff like that. And it's like, I'm like, yo, but like we've been making beats. That's like Kanye's been making beats and producing for The Rock. Yeah. And then Jay's about to drop the blueprint and like, hey, I kind of need Timbaland for this, not you, Kanye. What do you think Kanye's response gonna be?
I mean, Kanye is gonna be.
I'm just saying, like, if you're a person,
well, I mean,
and Kanye, you know what your reaction is to something, you gotta only extend that same type of courtesy to what someone else's reaction would be if you did the same thing to them.
Like I said, I understand you. Yeah. I'm just saying, but like, there's a part of me where it's just like, I'm like, yo, whatever helps you blow, like, do what you have to do. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't need, like, I'm going to be here regardless. I mean, I was here before, I'm going to be here after. And like, whenever you need me, like when he wanted to reshoot the video, he did wind up coming back and getting them. And it was like the third reshoot.
But if the video had went well, he's not coming back.
Like, period. You think he's just done with Cootie?
The only reason he came back is because he didn't like the video. And he was like, all right, let me holler at my homie. And the video went well. And now he's like, we back at it again.
As big as Kanye has become, there will be more hits. Like, and that's the thing is like, you're in the studio with him. And it's just like, yo, this is a hit. This is a hit.
I don't have that assurity though. If I'm hitting you up, like you just said, if you said I had to go on the Joe Budden podcast to release something, right? Then I go on there, it gets released. I'm at the crib, you hit me up like, yo, how'd it go? And I don't answer.
I'd be like, damn.
Text me like, yo, I'm trying to call you. How'd everything go? I don't respond.
I mean, yeah, like, but I'd be tight, but at the same time, like, I wouldn't be like, yo, man, like, yo, bump brazen, yo, he's a fake, he's a phony. I'd be like, nah, man, like, yo, do blew up. It's like, that's what happens. Like, sometimes you outgrow people. Some people are reasons and some people are seasons. And it's like, you know, like, you can't, you can't let stuff like that really affect you. Now, if you stole something of mine and did it, like, that's different. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, that would make me feel some type of way. But it's like, some people get left in the dust. Like, think about, like, the road to the success that you're on now and how many people, like, you've had to leave behind. And it was like, yeah, they were there, but it's like, I think it was like Jay Carmichael who said it. It's like, how much do I owe you for dreaming with me? Like, type of deal. And it was like, yeah, we used to sit up and we used to dream about doing stuff, but it's like, yeah, like, I did it. So like, yeah, you get to come with me and it's like stuff like that for certain stuff, but it's like, there's probably going to be a point where we have to go our separate ways because like, it's just the way it is. Yeah,
but that sounds like a mutual separation, not just like, hey, you can go outside and go into the gas station, grab something to drink. Like, yo, where you at? Like,
you make it sound like the dirtiest thing that like Kanye did. I feel like it was nowhere near as dirty as you're making it.
I don't know. I just felt some type of way for Cootie. I don't know. But everybody has different perceptions.
Do you have some hurt here? Did somebody leave you behind that we don't know about?
No, not at all. Right. No, not at all. Definitely not the situation. But I do have strong intentions towards like loyalty and authenticity, you know what I mean? And there has been some issues in that area, but we all have had issues in that area before, you know what I mean?
Because I already told you, Sirius called me. You already know what it is.
Yeah, but I already know that once they call you, you're going to hit me up afterwards. It's not going to be like I called Joel and you be like, bang.
I'm not at the crib no more.
Right. I come to stop by, I'm like, yo, where Joel at?
LA.
I don't know, man. His room is empty. Like, what? Like, come on, man.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how many times you have that, but like, there's many a days where I'm just like, what if I just didn't go home?
Yo,
like you've never had those type of thoughts, never.
Yeah, when I was 12, and I knew I was about to get a whooping for acting up in school.
I mean, I think like all the time. I'm just like, how long would it take for somebody to notice that like I just didn't come back? Like, you know what I mean?
I did that one time. My mom went wild.
Oh, the one time that I ran away from home was crazy.
Yo, everybody has a runaway story.
Well, everybody has the threat of running away, and then there was the one time that I did run away.
Yeah, that's what crazy. I'm saying. The runaway
it got
story.
Crazy. It got crazy.
Yo, my mom used my dog as ransom. She was like, go ahead. You left and you left this dog here. He about to be gone, and if you ain't here by this time, he gonna be gone. I'm like, that's my dog. I was gonna come and get him tomorrow.
I stayed with friends who I knew. My mom didn't know who those friends were. For like a couple nights, but then there was one night where I slept in the back of a pickup truck bed. Like, and it was cold, and I was like, I think I'm gonna go home. And then it was like, I went home, and it's like you thought there would have been like a loving embrace and like all this other stuff because it was like, my mom had to call the cops and like do all this other stuff or whatever, and then it was just like, hey. Like it beat the brakes on me, bro. And I started to go to school the next day. I think my mom was more mad that I missed 2 days of school. Like, and then she had to call out of work to try to find my stupid ass. Like, I was gone for like 3 days.
I don't know what I'm entitled to in the pod, but this is crazy.
I was gone for like 3 days. Like, it was crazy. Bro.
I was gone for 2, I think. Mm-hmm. It was just like some older shorty that I was at her crib, and it was just like, she was like, you can stay here as long as you want. I was like, long enough for my dog to be gone. It's more important to me right now.
See, my thing was pre-cell phones and all that stuff too. So like, there was no way to get in touch with me unless you knew these people's landlines and stuff like that.
Nah, I had that Nokia that was shaped like a dog biscuit, like, with the little small antenna on the top. It looked crazy. But yeah, I was definitely able to get contacted. It ain't no banging on your mom. You better answer that phone. I don't care what's going on. But
genius,
right? Right. So I think the other thing that threw me off about is like because of the nostalgia of the videos and like how it's all about Kanye's come up.
Yeah.
I didn't expect for a lot of it to be recent and relevant information. You know what I mean? So it seems like it alluded to episode 3 being like a lot of like modern day stuff that Kanye was going through, like when he had the big blow up on TMZ, I think it was, when he was like, slavery's like a choice.
Yeah.
And then like him,
that's gonna be a rough one.
Right. Him jumping up in front of Taylor Swift and saying, "Sorry, Taylor." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
one of the greatest videos of all time.
And I know
you ain't got the answer, Sway.
Yes, all of that. So I know all that is not like super recent, but it is still
recent enough.
It's still recent enough. So I didn't like, does Cootie have like raw footage of this? Like, did they continue going on for this long? So that's when I was just like, all right, let's see where this goes.
Do you have any highlights from the episode?
Highlights from the episode.
I have 2 very specific ones.
You go first.
One of them, and I feel like we've heard this story from Jamie Foxx's point of view for like a long period of time.
I've heard Jamie tell the story.
He's told it a bunch of times about how he wound up being on slow jams.
Yep.
And like how he met Kanye and stuff like that. And then to see, that's my thing is like, I love great storytellers, number one, with people who could tell good stories. But then when you actually get the validation that this story is true and this person was telling it the right way, and it's like you get to see the video, like I was legit, I was like, I felt like a little kid.
Charlie Murphy stories.
Yeah, like exactly. But it was like I was literally like I had like the biggest cheesy grin on my face. I was like, hell, they want to do slow jams. Like I was like, this is so dope.
Right.
And the fact that they got back together and did Gold Digger stuff like that, they just posted a video this morning. And Jamie Foxx and him were together, and they were just like, "Yo, we got something else cooking up." And I was like, "Look at y'all,
right?
Look at y'all, just be great."
Right.
That was one of them.
I think one of them for me was, and I know I go back to this a lot. Like I love seeing the interactions with him and his mom. Like,
absolutely.
When she comes in and when he did the spoken word, and she was just like, "Oh, I didn't know you was gonna do that one. That one was dope." He was like, "Look at you glowing." And
his mom loved her some Kanye, bro. Right. Like she loved her some Kanye.
And like she was a cool mom. Like at one point she looked at him, she was like, "Baby, you snapped up there." I was like, "Yo, Donna, this is how." Yeah, like that joint was hard for me. And I think the other one, if I had to name a second one, was like Cootie actually recording them taking the wires out his mouth.
Yeah,
I don't know why,
crazy.
But it was just so like, first it was just like, ugh.
How much did it make you like the song more though?
Dope.
Because it's like you already knew this stuff,
right.
But then seeing the footage, you're just like, this song just goes that much harder.
The creative idea of how it all came together. Even when dude was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have Pharrell here," and we'll slide over to him like running out the room. I was just like, yeah, this is tough.
Because that is my number one moment. I was like, when he showed through the wire to Pharrell, and Pharrell had to walk out of the room,
right,
and then came back and was like, that was phenomenal. And I was like, it's the fact that like the first episode, like how much validation he wasn't getting for his music. Like he's playing All Falls Down, he's playing Jesus Walks, and people are talking over it. They're talking about lunches and stuff like that. And then he goes to like quite possibly one of the 3 to 4 greatest producers of all time. And like he tells you that this thing that you made is phenomenal. Right. And he told him like, I'm your biggest fan and like all this other stuff. And I was just like, I'll tell you like the cheesy, I was like, I was like, go ahead, boy. Right. Like, go ahead.
If I had to name one more spot that I just thought, I think it was just like a G move, was when he was doing the release party for the song and he was going off on his rant. Yeah. And then Dame Dash walks in and everybody was expecting him to stop. He's like, "Hey, I'm just having a little moment right quick. So if you just settle in, I'm gonna finish saying what I got to say." I was like, "Oh, is he gonna say some Dame stuff in front of Dame?" And then he kicked a little bar before the video. I was just like, "Yeah, that's hard right there. That's hard right there." Because some people switch up when somebody walk into the room. He's just like, nah, I'm gonna keep it all the way real with y'all. That they was fronting in here, and here we are right now.
I had to put my money up to get this video out of here. So.
Specific number.
Yeah.
Specific number. I think he said like
33K.
33K. And that man was just like, "Yeah, this is where we at with it." And then lo and behold, the wallet got opened up for him. So.
That's how it happens. Yeah.
Do what you got to do. Close mouth. Like Jay-Z said, I think it's from episode 1, but I think it was pretty dope when he got on the Jay-Z song. And Jay-Z was like, "If you had never said nothing, you wouldn't even been on this song. So closed mouth don't get fed." I was just like,
oh yeah,
you can't be mad at him.
And where did he get that advice from? Donda West, when she told us, she's like, "Yo, if you a star, you gotta watch what call it." Like, yo, so what I'm saying is it like it all comes together. And it's like when you breed your children for greatness, like sometimes like you can't be surprised when it absorbs and they use that greatness. You know what I mean?
I love it.
But like another like low key favorite moment of mine is when they were doing the rehearsal for the singing through the wire, where they had like all the people
the church choir. Oh,
bro, I was
listen. And then Kanye can sing a little bit. Because he was like, "Nah, I think it would sound better if it was like this." And he sung a little bit. And he was like, we went, I was like, "Kanye, word, that's what we doing. And the preacher was like, well, I say the choir director was like, that is kind of, and the choir was like, yeah. And before you know it, everybody was in their bag hitting their notes. I was just like, oh, snap. Yeah, that joint was fire.
And then we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the fact that Luda showed up in the episode.
I tried to avoid it.
Breathe in, breathe out.
My goodness, man. I knew that was gonna happen.
I love that song too.
Yeah.
Like,
when I'm watching it, I'm like, oh my goodness. Just give this man a foothold to start talking about Luda. I was at the point where I was like, I'm so happy there's nothing to talk about football because now I don't have to listen to get out the way as I come through.
So you don't like Ludacris though? Because I didn't even bring up the fact that he's the only person that was solid during the DJ Khaled All-Star performance.
I'm not saying I'm not like Luda. I just give you a hard time because that's your guy. But it's just like now that I'm giving you a hard time, he's popping up everywhere. It's just like there's no reason for Joel to not be like, he the king of the South. Like he's not.
I didn't say he was the king of the South. I just said T.I. is not the king of the South.
Okay,
that's all I'm saying.
There you go. But then when you said he wasn't, he was like, you got to consider Luda.
You do. You got to consider him. He's better than T.I.
Okay.
But it was like the answer is Lil Wayne. It was like the answer is, but it's like I'm just saying.
Got you.
But yeah, but he pulled because like it seems like they did a lot of the album cuts in this episode, and it was like the album cuts are like my favorite ones. Like when they did the Get Up High, now my flow is in the pocket like Wallace. I got the bounce like hydraulics. I can't call it. I got the surf like alcoholics. I was like, that's what I'm saying. I was in the living room like the whole thing. I was like, let's go.
Right. Yeah, that drum was fire. I enjoyed it. I'm happy to see what episode 3 brings.
Right.
Yeah. It comes out in just a few days. It's on the 2nd.
Does it really?
Yeah. March 2nd is the next episode. All right, so let's move on. We'll move on to Bel-Air. Dropped the 5th episode, which was crazy because I was just like, when does this show come on? Because I feel like I'm waiting for this episode. And as soon as I asked you, that joint was on.
Yeah, you were like, I was like, yeah, it comes on Sundays. And then you were like, actually, it's today. I was like, wait, what?
Mind you, I just got a note right as soon as we finished the pod, I got the notification Bel-Air. I was like, watch it right now. Well, I stopped to text you. It was like, it's out now. And then I watched it. So did you get to watch it?
Absolutely.
What you think?
I thought it was great. And I think there's so like what's it called?
Question.
Go ahead.
Did you know that was Don Cheetah's character? His friend Trey.
I didn't realize that until somebody posted it. And
a lot of people were saying that.
And it was like I didn't realize it. And then I was like, damn, that is right. I forgot all about that. Because it's like I thought Trey was kind of like a brand new character. Because like Don Cheeto doesn't play the dude from when he goes back to Philly, right? Because like there's a whole episode of when he goes back.
No, Don Cheetah's in the first, I think it was like one of the first 5 episodes.
Okay.
When he comes to visit Will Smith, because it's still got like the old set, like you know how they ended up with the big living room.
Yeah.
Remember before that they had the old set with the little fireplace and everything.
Yeah, I know so.
Don Cheetah comes in during that set, so it had to be like definitely first season, but it was in like the first 5 episodes. I want to say, but when the first episode of Fresh Prince, when he was kicking it with the homie and their name was Trey, I was like, oh, this is kind of dope backstory for Don Cheetah's character.
Which went right over my head.
Yeah, so I noticed it right away, but it was just like it was dope to see like even that him coming to see Will in there, different spin. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I was just like, no, I won't spoil it for y'all. But it was.
But I was gonna say, it was like I feel like that's something to talk about though, because like that's like the whole grand scheme of it now is like now, and it's like kind of like what we're talking about with the Kanye thing. It's like now they're at a place where Will is able to come back to Philly, and Will's kind of being like, I don't know if I want to come back to Philly, and you know, like there's a big rift between him and Trey because like you know Trey feels some type of way about it, and like. I just want to know like how you felt about it because like while I was watching, I was like, Trey, you kind of being a real sucker right now.
I agree.
Yeah, okay.
I agree. But I think this is different than the Kanye situation because he's having a conversation with Trey and trying to express to him why he feels that way. Kanye was more like I know this homie feels like he's about to shoot this video and I'm about to hit him with this hype wave. You know what I mean? But
he told him. He said, I got to do hype for this.
Right. So he did tell him. So I definitely feel like Trey was acting like a sucker. You know what I mean? But I don't think it was out.
I was like, yo, are you dating Will?
I don't think it was out of like him thinking that Will was doing him dirty, but more out of the fear of like having to grow up without his friend.
Yeah.
Like we've been through everything together. I can literally say I got shot because of you, fam. Like we was not supposed to be at the park. We was not supposed to be beefing. And because of that, you were gone. I was here. I got popped. Like all of this is a direct reaction of the choice that you initially made that I asked you not to make. You know what I mean? And now
you ain't have to go.
And now yes, he does.
I'm just saying.
I mean, he doesn't, but he does. You know what I mean? Like, if you tell me right now like, there's somebody outside waiting for me and there's an issue, I'm like, all right, bro, go. Let me know how it goes. No, I'm going outside with you, fam. You know what I mean? So it's like Trey, I just think he felt more upset and had a reactive like decision making based on the fact that he was like, I'm gonna be out here by myself. Like I literally don't kick it with nobody but you. Like I literally have nothing but you. Our basketball team is trash without you, and now you want me to go back to nothing while you out here living it up. You know what I mean? So I think like the way he acted towards Will was definitely whack, but the understanding of the fear that comes with losing something so quick like that when you have the expectations that you about to get it back is just like kind of like a double blow.
And like I said, like I get it, I understand it, like I hear it, but it's just like at the same time, it's just like, you know, I think people look at friendships like a little bit differently and stuff like that. Like my whole thing is like, yo, your man's is winning right now, or like you like these are the type of things that like you guys dream about, and it's like he's living it,
right?
And like
there has he got a D1 scholarship, he's gonna go.
He's gonna do it
anyway,
right? You know what I mean?
Right? They're not gonna offer like he's not gonna say you could bring you with him.
Yeah. So it's like it sucks. But it's like, yo, like that's not the way you're supposed to react. And it's like, I know, but and like I think what really bothered me is how long it took him. Because like usually like after like a day or something like that, you'd be like, yo, you know what? I was wilding a little bit. And it was like, no, like he was there for like a week and he like never turned back on it like at all. Like I felt like he was being like mad corny during like the dinner and stuff like that. I was like, you just felt like I was like, yo, you just like he was being whack all the way around. And it wasn't like, you know,
we are in box seats to see D Smoke.
D Smoke right now,
you
bro.
Tripping right now. You just met D Smoke. Are you mad at me? Like think about what we just went through right now. Think about the day that we just had right now.
I feel like and the thing is, I feel like we're talking about like how shorties ruin dates. And like they do stuff like that because it's like, yo, like you want to argue with me at box seats now? Like you want to talk about this stuff now? Like you know what I'm saying? It's like, but that's what I'm saying
I
about.
just came back from Times Square. I didn't have this conversation.
But it's like that's what I kept saying during the episode. I was like, yo, is Trey is Will your best friend or is he your boyfriend, bro? Like I was like, why are you so broken up about this? Like you just like you need to be on this man's coattail. Like I was like, sound like you riding.
Kindergarten, man. Kindergarten's a long time.
I hear you.
Kindergarten's a long. That's a lifetime spent together.
Don't. I have friends that have been my friends for 20 plus years. I get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I understand how it works, but it's like time moves. Like things change.
I feel you. I know there has been some other, I don't.
It was a pretty big controversy.
That's what you want to say. So, Ashley Banks' character comes out to Hillary in the episode. And now everybody's like, well, this is where Ashley Banks's character is going. Like, why are we doing this? Like, it's been a lot of up and down. You know, some people are like, this is great. You're giving a platform for the LGBTQ, and like it's mixed emotions, as it always is when the topics like this come up.
Right.
For me, I don't want to say I was conflicted, but it's like I'm wondering if they're doing this out of shedding light or like out of like an obligation, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like I feel like every show now has a character like this, and it's almost kind of going against the rules if you do not have a character like this. Like, is it okay to have a show that doesn't have a gay character, like or a transitioning character? And like are TV shows now doing this out of obligation or out of representation? I guess if that's the question.
I think it's representation, and like so like we talk about representation matters and like all the other type of stuff, and it's like, yes, the shows that we watch and the situations that they're in are supposed to reflect our society, and like what's more prevalent than the rise of gender fluidity and like all that other stuff like going on today. And it's like, I feel like it's the same type of stuff that when they started putting a bunch of black people on TV, they're like, why does every show have to have a black character? Why does I see more and more black people on TV? And then like, and then like, now they're being smarter. Now they're doing this stuff. It's like, I just feel like they're force feeding us black people and like all this stuff. Like, I feel like it's the same thing. And it's just like, people are choosing just weird things to get outraged about. Because like, my thing is, no one had a problem episode or two ago when she was at that spot and old boy had an arm around her and stuff like that. And they were like, oh, they were doing like that type of stuff. But all she has to do
like,
is say that she finds a girl attractive, and people are losing their minds. And it's just like, to me, it's like, yo, make it make sense. Like, you know, it's a double standard. It doesn't really, it's like, there's not much that they can do with her character wise to make her interesting anyways, because she's just a little girl. Like, obviously Tatiana Ali, like
I was saying that before, like I felt like she wasn't getting a lot of screen time, and then she got all the screen time.
And Tatiana Ali, like Ashley's character, like her main character points in the original show were her having relationships with boys and then like her singing career stuff. But that singing career stuff didn't happen for a long time. Like a lot of the stuff was she's a girl, she's sneaking out to go hang out with boys. And it was like Will and Carlton trying to stop her from liking boys type of deal. And it's like, it's kind of the same thing. And it's like now, and it's like, now she has a family member who not only like maybe she doesn't 100% understand her, but at least she supports her like in her decisions and stuff like that. And it's like I think that's a bigger thing than anything is like and especially like the character of Hillary in the show, like she's having a hard time with Aunt Viv because she feels like she's not being heard.
Yeah, I already knew when she told Hillary was going to be understanding because, like you said, the relationship she's having with Aunt Viv. What is the reaction that develops throughout the show?
What do you mean?
Well, Vivian has to find out. Uncle Phil has to find out. Carlton has to find out. Will has to find out. Like eventually, they're going to know. Yeah. Right. Like, how does the show develop this character?
I mean, we'll see like how it goes. Like I can pretty much count on my hand. Like Will's not going to care. Jeffrey's not going to care. Probably Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv are going to be the ones that are weird about it. And then like Carlton is probably going to be weird about it. But like, aside from that, like, I feel like the real people aren't going to really care. She's probably going to wind up, Jeffrey seems to, be really plugged in on like what everybody's got going on, specifically her, because like I think she gets left out of a lot of things because like, Hillary's got her stuff going on, Carlton's, everybody's got their things going and like she's kind of being left in the dust. So like, who's there? It's Jeffrey's there. And Will's probably going to be spending a lot of time at the crib now, stuff like that. Like he's probably like, that was one of the best relationships in the original Fresh Prince was Ashley and Will. Like, you know what I mean? So like, I feel like that's where it's going to go. But like this is still like the D plot of the show. Like, I feel like people are making it like it's like the biggest thing. And it's like, nah, this is like one of the least important things in the show. But it's like
you're just gonna argue about.
Yeah. And the conversation that she had with the woman that was in the influencer house, like it was a pretty like inspired. I don't want to say like inspiring, but it was a pretty dope conversation that they had where it's just like, yo, like do what you do. Like, what do you like? Why are we worried about putting labels? Like, you don't have to do any of that stuff. And as long as you feel like you're you, that's all there is to it.
Got you. Any other bright spots in the show? I think those are the two main topics of that episode.
Yeah. If you was throwing a dinner and a butt naked man ran across your dining room, that situation's going mad differently, right?
Yes. He's getting tackled like somebody trying to streak across a football field. Like, my daughter isn't here, bro.
Yeah, wow. Is this what's gonna be like in this influencer house?
Listen, I'm all set, bro. That'd have been the last video he shot for a while, or that one would have went viral for what happened to him.
I feel like Aunt Viv is like the description of like that Jimmy Butler meme, like at the end of the finals when he's like laying there, because she's putting in mad work in this house, like she has to.
They also added a little more controversy though, because she met with old boy about the painting. I was like, oh man.
Literally, everybody was watching Michael Ealy. And I was like, yo.
Don't throw a handsome light-skinned brother in the show,
gone,
man. You don't know
she's gone, bro. I'm sorry. First things first, rest in peace, Uncle Phil.
Right, that man over here trying to describe her art is like, you ain't describing her art because you ain't looking at nothing but her. Like, all right, bro. All right, man.
You know how like J. Cole has that line where like, if Michael B. Jordan called my shorty, she not picking up. Michael Ealy walks around your shorty. It's a dub, bro. It's a dub.
Yeah, listen, man.
If you had a function with your wife and you see Michael Ealy coming, it's time to leave that function, bro.
We out. I'm gonna be like, stand right here. He's over there. Picture that we was at the same place. All right, we out.
I'm not even alerting her that he's in the building. I was like, his essence. I was like, have you just rethinking our whole entire relationship?
All right, we got one more show on the docket. And that's none other than Franklin Saint. Did you catch up?
I did. I watched both episodes.
That boy, Franklin Saint is on.
Cold-blooded.
Yo, listen, man. I told you. Didn't I tell you?
Yeah.
They got right to it.
Yeah, they got shake it.
Right to it. It's like, nah, we not about to wait an episode or two, man. like, we don't need this character no more. It brings no relevance. We gotta get rid of a couple of y'all right off the rip.
He pulled the cootie.
Yo, listen, man. Yo, listen, we getting rid of a couple of y'all right off the rip. I'm here for it, man. I was a little shocked that like the relationship with his uncle and his aunt is like it's better than what I thought it was gonna be.
Right, because like
and with his homie, because I felt like there was gonna be some tension between. Yeah, I feel like there was still gonna be some tension there. Yeah. But everybody seems to be like professionally
Yo, the way my man's ankles got tore up by the thing.
Yo, when he was like, "What you want to do with the shoes?" Let him keep them. He paid
Paid
for
for
it. He paid for them every little
There you
bit. But yeah, I just I think I don't know where I lost track of where like they decided to make up. But
well, Franklin kind of forced them to like all make up, right? Because that was his whole thing. It's like trust in me. Like, he was doing that whole
right.
speech.
But I didn't know if they were actually gonna go with it. You know what I mean? But it just seems like they're not a family, but they a family.
It's a business relationship.
Right.
Now it's all business.
Right. So it seems pretty dope. And I like the way they're bringing more substance to Franklin's character to try to humanize him a little bit and like bring back like that Franklin that you remember before he like got into the business. And that way you just don't think of him as like this monster or something. You know what I mean? So it's just like they're showing you that yes, all this other drug stuff is happening on, but these are still real people who have lives, who still care about people around them, and like despite all this other stuff, this stuff is still happening, and the mixture is a good mixture.
I'll be Daddy Saint.
Word.
That boy Reed though, man.
Yeah, Reed's a scary dude, man. Reed's a scary.
How has nobody popped him yet? Like I granted, like it's gotten close a bunch of different times, and it's like, yo, the fact that he's in law or like in the DEA, FBI,
one of them.
He's in one of whatever one that he's in. It's like they're like, oh, like you're really just gonna kill an agent, and it's like they've killed mad agents. Like they can kill Reed if they need to, but it's just like but he's just like, hey,
informants.
He said it's gonna be 9K key. I hope you can hold up that market. He's like, keep it at 10. And just got to move it.
I just told you he was wilding.
Yeah,
did you not hear me? He's like, matter of fact, I'm gonna do 9 and I'm gonna take one off the top. Like, yeah, Reed is like, he's different, bro. He's different. And I like how Franklin was like, you want a cigar? And then when they showed it was in the cigar box, I was like, "Ooh, something's gonna happen. Something crazy's gonna happen, man." Because Franklin's already like he knows
what type of time Reed.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he's not no idiot. He's not an idiot.
He said, "Yo, no more Reed. It's Teddy from here on out."
Right.
I was like,
right. Your dad did that. Your dad did that, and then I did that to your dad.
Because like what you call it, we hit like we see him having phone calls with his mom, so she can't really get through. He doesn't understand what's going on.
That is a scary part too, because I was like, is it even really his mom? Like, what's going on? It's like, I don't know what's happening there. But once it gets revealed,
it's definitely the biggest thing that they haven't revealed yet is like what's happened with that. Like we're all just based on
that's what's going to be the crumble of season 3. Like that's what's going to get things cracking, like really cracking. And when that happens, we're gonna be like, oh shoot! All right,
my man Jerome out here buying horses.
Yo, I bought my horse and your horse. I told him I don't want nobody riding up. Yeah, Jerome got money now. He's like, forget this stereo shop.
So like, I'm a little bit confused at like how much money that they actually have, because then like they were just like, oh,
no, they got millions, bro.
But then like they need, what is it, like 10 million or something like that in order to do that business thing that they had. And they were like, but that's all the money. And I was like, that's all the money? Or is it just all the money that they had in that overseas account?
We'll find out soon enough.
Because like that was the only part when I heard that. I was like, I feel like they should have way more money.
Yeah, so it's probably the money that they have in the offshore, because you got to think, like, he didn't hesitate to be like, we're going to be broke or we ain't going to have nothing to live off of. So clearly he was like, we could still upkeep our life, but like that little nest egg is gone.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Because all I know is Avon Barksdale was pulling in $1 million a day. That's all I'm saying.
Right, and that was in a earlier era or a later era.
No, it's later
era. Yeah, so we'll see where it's going. I'm excited, and that show comes on Wednesdays.
Every
oh
Wednesday.
Yeah, we right around the corner. From another episode.
I'm glad there was 2 episodes.
Oh yeah,
because like the first episode was solid, but I was like, I feel like the second episode was like, this was more sense.
And I could buy some time watching Tommy Egan tonight. For y'all, you'll say ain't in the Power Universe. All right, we moving on. All right, so next we have Hardwood Check-in.
Okay.
Hey.
Like the fade?
That's what I said. Hey,
like a homemade fade.
You're getting crafty with it.
Yeah.
All right, so first things first.
I pop up freaks love the honeys.
You always get me with that. So Charles Oakley was on a podcast with a couple gentlemen. I don't know who they are or the name of the show. I would like to be able to
keep talking. I'll figure out what it is.
Thank you, because I like to get people their roses. especially if you have Charles Oakley on your show. Charles, feel free to come on whenever you want to, man. We'll be your guest.
Of course you want Charles Oakley.
Of course, you already know. But so Charles was giving Giannis his roses, but kind of taking him back, I think.
It was like the most 90s backwards compliment I'd ever.
You just hate when the OGs get to talking their stuff, man. But basically what Charles Oakley
said. It was
the
No Pump Fakes podcast with...
There you go.
I cannot. Ahmad Smith and Theus McBee.
There you go. All right, so shout out to those guys. But what Charles basically said was that Giannis, like he gives Giannis credit for winning the championship and developing a jumper, and he looks great and he feels like he's an all-star. But he also feels like if he came up in the 90s era, he would come off the bench.
Yeah, that's the crazy part to me.
I agree with Charles to an extent. And I know you are completely like, this brother's tripping. So what I was saying is that I agree with Charles, because if you're just looking at like everything was, so the league now is positionless.
Right.
Back then it was not.
Mm-hmm. And
size and frame and all that matters, and what the intangibles you brought to a team, it all mattered. Giannis didn't have much when, I won't say not much, but like as far as like where he would fit on the floor based on his frame, like he was a really small dude when he came into the league, and then he had the height growth spurt, and he put on all the muscle. I do feel like he would come off the bench for whatever team he was on, and that also is a consideration, like what roster in the 90s he ends up on. But
yeah, I was like, what if he just gets drafted by the Bucks in the 90s? Who's starting over Giannis? Like on any team, like Karl Malone probably.
I still feel like the first year or two he would come off the bench, and then once they got to see like his athleticism and him dunking, like Charles brought up the point, if he came to the lane with that Euro stuff, he'd get bopped over the head. Yes, he would, but then eventually he would adjust and stop getting bopped in the head. It's kind of like when Jordan was getting beat up by the Pistons. He got in the weight room, got stronger, and he was able to compete at another level in which he already was. Giannis would have adjusted. And I feel like his first year he came off the bench. His second year, he would have had like maxed out his minutes coming off the bench. And by his third year, he would have been a starter and a superstar still. That's just where I'm at with it. So I'm saying, yes, Charles is right, but the extension of how right he would have been is questionable. And you say,
I first of all want to give a shout out to the two brothers that were on that podcast, because they were just like,
when he said,
I don't know about that.
Yeah, listen, when he first said it, one brother was just like
Giannis? Like, off the bench? Charles, how good do you think that you are as a basketball player? And you started. Like, do you think that you're anywhere in Giannis's league? And if you can start in this league, why can't Giannis start in this league?
Would Giannis do Charles dirty though?
Absolutely. Charles would have to come
on year 1, year 2 Giannis, based on what I'm saying.
You mean like the 22 points per game, like 8 rebounds, 2 blocks Giannis from a rookie year? Giannis was never trash.
I'm not saying
you know what I'm saying? So like the thing is like
in a league where there aren't a lot of defense being played.
I think that's like completely not true at all. I think the defense is so different now.
People are scoring 150 points a game.
Yeah, because the players are better. Like the offenses are just better. Like the offense is like, it's nowhere near close. Like I want you to think about like your beloved.
Offense gets better. Defense should get better.
I want you to think about your beloved New York Knicks, right, from the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Ewing's the lead scorer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who's the next best scorer on that team?
Jeez, that's questionable. I mean, John Starks, because he puts up a lot of shots. He put up 50 shots to get 20, 30 points.
And then Mark Jackson, like when he came around, like around that time.
Yeah.
Now I want you to think about like the New York Knicks now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like think about like an RJ Barrett, like on that team, like how much more offensively gifted he is than everybody on that team. And he's like not even one of the 50 best players like in the league right now. Someone like,
but RJ can shoot. What is a difference? Because
the scoring is scoring. Like RJ Barrett can shoot, but he does a lot of other things as well. Yeah. That's the difference between the 90s and now. Is like everybody was like such a specialist in the 90s. They're like, this guy's a shooter. Like Steve Kerr lasted forever, and it's like all he could do was shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like this guy, all he does is shoot. All this guy does is manhandle people in the paint. Mm-hmm. Like they all do everything. Giannis is not only like a run and dunker, he's like an elite ball handler, and he's one of the best defensive players in the league. Mm-hmm. Like there's a reason why he was a back-to-back MVP, and he's up again for MVP discussions this season.
He's not gonna get it.
He's not gonna get it, but it's like if you look at his, like people are talking about Embiid, his numbers are better than Embiid, and his team is better. He's like they're doing like the same exact things. It's like that's how good he is. It's almost like the LeBron James effect. It's like it's become normal, so it's like we're not grasping towards like, oh my God, look what Giannis is doing. Cause it's like, he's already done it and he's got the hardware to go with it.
You know who would be hilarious? If like some dude from like the 60s or 70s was hitting up the 90s dudes like, you couldn't play ball in our era.
But they did. Will Chamberlain used to be like, yo, I'd average like 200 points in the 90s or something like that. Like he was talking crazy. And it was like, and nobody said nothing and stuff like that. Like they kind of just let it go. But like the 90s players think that like they're the most magical decade like of all time.
Will can say that because he's like,
he's a freak. He's one of the
I'm talking about like somebody who wasn't like Wilt from that era. That's just like, you wouldn't make it in our era.
Pistol Pete.
Right, like, you know what I mean? Like a Charles Oakley type of reference from that era. Just like, yeah, nah, you wouldn't have cut it.
Like, could Charles Oakley play in today's NBA?
Charles Oakley?
Yeah.
Yes.
What team is he playing on?
Bro,
and he's starting?
Bro, there's plenty. Starting is a little questionable.
Because like Charles Oakley, like for all those years, averaged like 8 points, 8 rebounds. Like what are you doing?
Player that I would like compare him to.
They don't exist anymore. Because like now Charles Oakley has to guard people that are on the 3-point line.
Nah, he'd be like a Montrezl Harrell.
Okay, Montrezl Harrell. What we talking like 12 points, 6 rebounds, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yo, like he's getting traded every year. He's on different teams. He's getting released. Like, you know what I mean? It's like Charles, like, what do we like? Come on, bro. Like, why are like, yo, we bop each other on the head. It's like, well, first of all, the only reason that you could bop him on the head is because you couldn't play defense on him in the first place.
Sure.
Like, there's a bunch of
bop one person in the head, be suspended for 20 games.
Yeah.
Like, we'll see you next season.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, first of all, they act like in the 90s like that happened all the time. And it didn't. It was like very rare, like it was in there. But like also like the teams in the 90s, like the talent discrepancy was crazy. There's a reason why we only talk about the same like 6 teams from the 90s because everybody else was butt cheeks in the 90s. And it's like that. It's like you try to tell me that Giannis can't start on the Raptors back in the day or like on the, let's see. Like when we talk about like skinny people that couldn't survive, Reggie Miller was there.
When Raptors first came in, they had T-Mac and Vince.
No, they didn't get Vince until later. That was the Damon Stoudemire, like much with the Mighty Mouse squad with like Alvin Williams and stuff like that. And then they wound up getting Vince Carter. They're that team was rough. The Cleveland Cavaliers back in the day were rough.
Yeah.
Like everybody likes to talk about, Craig Elo. It's like, all right, what about Craig Elo? The fact that Craig Elo gave Michael Jordan such stress should let you guys know what's really going on with them Bulls and why those Warriors would get would stress them out something vicious. Like people the people from 90s just say crazy stuff. Like when Rodman would be like,
but he did make a good point. Like he said, the way they would defend Giannis they would keep him out on the perimeter and let him shoot shots, and that would sorely disrupt his game. Like even if you're saying that if you threw him on the Cavs and he's the superstar there, then like if they're taking away from his game, then what really is he gonna do? No,
because then like he plays more like a big man now.
Right.
So like now he's getting like David Robinson type buckets. Like I think that's what he would more look like back in that time.
Mm-hmm.
Is because they would be like, hey, we need to put you in the post. Hey, we need you to do this. We need you to do this. Mm-hmm. But it's like the ball handling, all that stuff there. Like think about like Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley was only 6'4", playing power forward. And it's like, yo, because his ball handling was up, he's around amount of rebound, like is like all this other stuff. But it's like, why can't Giannis do the same thing? He's bigger than Karl Malone, who was like one of the best power forwards like of that era and stuff like that. He's the same size as like a David Robinson. His game is very similar to David Robinson. Like, you know what I mean? Like Hakeem Olajuwon.
Listen, I'm not Charles Oakley. I'm hearing what you're saying.
Yeah.
I just seen like your level getting higher. Who's going from red to orange to red? I'm like,
it's just a wild thing, and it's like I hear it so much, especially from these dudes from the 90s. Like I don't know why they feel like so invalidated, where it's like they just constantly need to be like, oh, they wouldn't survive. They couldn't make it back here, and it's like, nah, pretty sure they could. And it's like, and they'd probably be really great.
You're just defending your era.
How is this my era? Like my era would be like the early 2000s. And like, let's not forget, like I was watching 90s basketball. Michael Jordan was my favorite player. I was bulled out, like all that other stuff. But it's like as time goes on, you see it. It's just like call a spade a spade. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's like not everything about the 90s was great, and not all these teams were great and stuff like that. Like they're good teams, and they were good for so long because it's like they had two of the best players in the entire decade, so they just ran it. It makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We done with this?
I mean, I guess. Are you finished? Or are you done? Is that what you just said?
Yeah. The Birdman.
Are we finished or are we done? What? Yeah. Bro, you came in here.
Yeah.
You stopped what we were doing and like,
put some respect on my name. So next we have James Harden had his debut for the Sixers.
yes, he did, and a dub.
And he dropped like 20 something.
It was like 26 or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
And he had a little and1 3-pointer, little shimmy to the rack. Joel Embiid looks like he's having fun, man. He looks like he's having fun. I mean, but I feel like all James Harden relationships start out like that. So I'm waiting to see where it goes, man. I can't allow all the eggs to go into this basket. Like, I knew they were gonna look good when he first got on the court. I knew the relationship was gonna look good, but like I said, we've seen this before. We've seen it with Westbrook. We've seen it with Chris Paul. We've seen it with KD and Kyrie, and now here we are with Joel Embiid. So I kind of hope that it does work out because it's good for the East. But if it doesn't, it's like, where are you going to next, James? Like, hey, before you know, you're gonna have more jerseys than J-Lo. So let's figure it out.
Wait, we don't got to talk about my baby like that. I got disrespect her.
This is 15, right?
Something like that.
She got 5 rings, right?
I mean, I think she's got more than 5 rings. She Thanos out in this building right now. I don't care. I do not care. She titled that movie for me, "Marry Me." I saw that. Like, I was like, I do. Like,
She leaves him and goes back to the other dude in the movie, right?
ah, man, because when I watched it, that's not what I saw.
No, you watched it?
No, but I know you didn't watch it. I can tell. I can tell you was trying to be disrespectful.
Yo,
He was trying to lie.
that is hilarious.
Every homegirl that I talked to was like, yo, like, should I watch it? And they were just like, no. I was like, all right, bet.
Word.
I was like, if y'all don't like it, I was like,
Terrible.
why should I watch it? They were like, it's
Terrible.
pretty much about her life.
Terrible.
Like, that's literally what they said. I'm not making that up.
That is crazy. But yeah, so I figure, like I said, that's where I'm at with it. I'm reserving the reservation to see what happens given how the rest of the season goes.
All right. Well, I mean, that's the safest answer anybody could give ever.
It's
like,
and it's not even.
I gotta see what
it's
happens.
just not. But it's not even about being safe. I just feel like everybody overlooks how toxic James Harden can be.
Toxic.
Yes.
Explain.
Bro, every team that he ends up on, he ends up trying to find a way to get up out of there and finding like you're
It's only
on
happened twice.
You're on a good team and you're acting like it's not a good team, and because that you want to go somewhere else. It's just like
it's only a good team because he's on it.
No, he wants the microwave team. Like, he wants to win right now. He doesn't want to put any stock into anything. Like, Houston was a good team. You and Chris Paul.
Was it?
Yes.
Let's not forget
Chris
what the
Paul.
team looked like at the end of whatchamacallit, of his run in Houston. It was him, Russell Westbrook, PJ Tucker, Eric Gordon, and then
He asked for Russ, though.
Yeah, because Chris Paul didn't want to be there.
Okay, and then he asked for Russ, and that lasted all of how long before he got?
Well, if you have Chris Paul and he says he doesn't want to be here, like, how many options are there that he can have that's as good as Chris Paul? It's like, I guess give me Russ. Like,
why do you think Chris Paul didn't want to be there?
Because Chris Paul has stated himself, he's like, he didn't like the idea of, like, Chris Paul is a traditional point guard. I need the ball in my hands and I need to do this type of stuff. And it's like, I can't do that when this guy's dominating the ball. So, like, this is not a good fit for me. So I got to go.
Facts.
All right. And it makes sense.
And you ask for Russell Westbrook, who dominates the ball.
But whatchamacallit, Russell didn't when he first got there. Like, they were okay until Russell caught COVID.
And so why did James leave that situation?
Because then Russell Westbrook got traded. And then he was like, yo, this roster isn't good enough to win. And it's not. It wasn't.
Okay. Then he gets to
Brooklyn.
Uh-huh. You have KD and Kyrie.
Does he have KD and Kyrie?
The team seems to be doing pretty good right now.
Are they?
Yes, they just beat the Bucks.
Yeah, they just lost 4 games before that. And they just lost, like, I think out of their last 16 games, like, they've lost, like, 13 of them.
New York mandation about to be gone, man. Kyrie will be back. KD
that wasn't the case when he was there.
You got to wait some stuff out, though.
No, see, like, this is the thing that kills me. It's like, people talk about, like, you know, you got to want to be the dog and you got to want to do this. And it's like, but then, like, they do that and then they don't win rings and they be like, well, he never won a ring anyways. And it's like, so you can't have it both ways.
No, this is different. Like, I understand if, like, you're dogging it out and you don't have, like, what you need to get over the hump. Like, you have the pieces there. Like, just wait for these guys to get healthy. You'll be all right. You'll still be in the playoffs right in time for y'all to make a run.
I think that's what they said to him all those years before. He has no rings to show for it. I think he looked around and he saw, like, Kyrie's kind of doing some sucker type stuff. I was like, Kevin Durant, like, is being kind of annoying, and he's getting injured and all this other stuff. And it's like, I came here to not have to carry this team. And I'm here and I'm carrying this team. And there's a lot of tomfoolery going around. So it's like, why attach myself to these guys when it's like there's another dude over there who's putting up MVP type numbers. They're getting dubs. And it's like, I know that I can help him win. And it's like, that's probably a better situation for me. Because then Kyrie is healthy. And then it's like, there's only one basketball to go around. And it's like, they didn't win last year. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but everybody was out. One of those people being James Harden.
He played. James Harden played on like a broken ankle, and everybody was making fun of him because they were like, "Oh, like he's barely moving." Yeah,
it wasn't broken.
There was something wrong with his foot, his leg, where he like legit could not move like that, and he still was putting up like 22 points per game or something like that.
But they were just never all on the court at the same time.
I think the stat is they played a grand total of 16 games together.
That's crazy.
That's
including playoffs.
Yes, 16 total games that all three of them played together. Yeah. And it's like, why would I stick around for that?
All right. How long does it last in Philly for him? You think this is his final landing spot?
No, because like we know.
I'm not talking about 10 years down the line. I'm just talking within a span of 3 seasons.
3 seasons?
Is he there for 3 seasons?
No, I think at the end of his 3rd season, he winds up going somewhere else.
I'm thinking he's gone at the end of the 2nd.
So next year, when his contract is up. I mean, it seems fair to me.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, why not keep your options open?
I mean, you're in Philly with a potential MVP player.
Yep.
And you guys are looking good. What options do you need to keep open? I mean, I understand like having the availability to see where you can go, but why would you not be happy where you are? Like, where could he go?
I think the playoffs are going to say a lot. Well, I mean, he can go anywhere once he becomes a free agent.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like if he wants to go to New York,
fits for.
That's what I'm saying. It's like if
you're not going to get me excited, okay? We're not going to get me excited.
Think about it, like
stop it.
I'm just saying.
I don't hear you. I don't hear you. You can't come back to New York. You just left New York.
Are we calling Brooklyn, New York? Is that what we're doing? We're calling Brooklyn, New York now. Is that what we're doing?
Yes.
Like Brooklyn is in New York. Like when we talk about basketball, there's the Brooklyn, Jersey, and then there's and then there's New York. That's what we're doing.
Listen. All I'm saying is I don't want to get excited. All right. Don't just start throwing stuff out there for me to get excited.
Just
okay?
saying, I watched J Kid's brolic head son for years, and that said Jersey on his chest. That's all I'm saying. That he can say Brooklyn.
I don't know. I just feel like this is going to be what James' career is. He's going to end up on like 8 different teams. It's always going to be for a couple years. One of those years is going to always be great, and the other one's going to be him about transitioning. And we're always going to have the story of still saying he never got a ring, and like what team could he have stayed on for that to potentially happen. And I don't have any ill will toward him. Just like I want to see him stay on a roster and see what happens.
I think he's one of the 5 best players of this generation. And he literally got all the mileage he could out of all his teammates. And like, he just kept running into the Warriors. He kept running into the Cavaliers. He kept running into like all these things.
It was like beat the Warriors. He was injured.
How could that
was he injured? Or was it Chris? No, he was injured.
Chris Paul got injured.
And then he did.
No, that was the game where they missed like 23 3-pointers.
Oh yeah. That Chris Paul was injured.
He was injured.
And James was like 3 for 400.
It was something like that, but they still only lost that game by like 4 points or something like that. And it's just like, that's what I mean, is like stuff just keeps happening. Like I feel like there's this narrative where it's like James Harden sucks, or like if James Harden is your best player, like you can't win. And it's like, I don't think that's the case. I just think that he just hasn't.
I don't think he sucks. I just think he needs to stay somewhere. He needs to stay somewhere.
I want to look at this Houston team right now. If he would have stayed there, that's pretty much the team he would have had. Yeah, think about it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and they're like one of the 3 worst teams in the league. So it's like, no, I think he made the smartest move. I don't like the idea of playing on a team with KD and whatchamacallit. But we can move on anyways.
Yeah, we can move on. Okay. Is you finished? Is you done? That's what you
No, because I can go on this forever.
So next we have the other side of the trade, which is Ben Simmons, who's yet to make his debut. And it seems like things are going to be on hold longer than what was expected.
Yeah, apparently, like, there's word that he has like a bunch of back soreness and like a bunch of like things going on where it's like he's a bunch of they're saying that it's at least a couple weeks away before he can make his Brooklyn debut.
weak.
Why is he got to be weak? Because he's injured.
Because you had all this time off. Why are you not taking care of your body? I'm not saying he's weak. I'm saying the whole idea of it is weak. The whole Zyon situation, we'll get into that right after this. That joint is terrible too. I just feel like if you have all this off time, like, all right, you mad with the Sixers and you don't want to play and you want to get traded, okay, fine. I'm in the basement with the Peloton, whatever that little wall joint that LeBron is using. Like, I got a chef at the crib. Like, bro, you are still paid. Like there's no reason why as soon as you get somewhere to where you want to be, you can't play ball because you ain't taking care of your body. Like, it just looks dumb. It looks dumb to me.
I mean, they're a former athlete though. Like, there are some things where it's just like back problems and stuff like that. It's like you can't plan for those. And it's like you could do all your hot yogas, your stretches, you could do all these people all you want, but it's like your back is gonna back it up. Like, as much as, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing you could do about it. You can take all the medicine and stuff like that. And it's like, to me, I'm like, if you ain't right, then don't play. Because
I completely agree with that. I'm just saying, like, what were you doing with this free time?
Hopefully, getting a jump shot. Well, like, we'll see.
I just feel like, you know, what helps to hinder a bad back? Sitting around doing nothing.
Helps to hinder. Maybe. I think you're right.
Did I say it wrong?
No. I think you said
okay,
right.
All right.
I was like fact checking, but I'm pretty sure that's right.
Yeah, definitely. So if I felt like if he was like super hardcore training his body, he was just like, yeah, I'm about to get what I want. I'm about to end up with a team that I want to play for. That man should have came walking out like shredded cheese. That man should have been ready to go play basketball. And you're having back issues because you haven't been taking care of your body. So you finally got what you wanted, and then you didn't properly prep for the thing that you wanted, and now you have to wait for that thing.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do that.
Facts. All right, we'll move on. You brought up Zyon.
I did bring up Zyon.
Aside from me seeing, you showed me him on a New Orleans float, and they had that man dressed like one of the Clump brothers.
It looked like Sherman.
Said 1 ton on it. His cheeks was out on top of his cheeks.
I was like, yeah, this brother, he can't wait to get up out of the city. That's all I'm saying. Like, yo, like, but the main reason that we brought him up here is because, like, CJ McCollum was recently traded to the Pelicans, and
never talked to that man in his life.
And he went, I think, like 2 weeks, and then, like, they asked him something. He was like, I have not spoken to Zyon since I've gotten here,
which was shocking.
And JJ Redick on First Take was like, yeah, this is the type of dude that he is. Like, we played on the team and stuff like that. He's like, I barely ever saw him, barely ever talked to him.
JJ was with him for what, 2 years?
I want to say 1 season. I think he got like his rookie season, and that was it.
Okay.
But he's just like, yeah, like that's kind of what he does. And then, of course, like right after that, all of a sudden, Zyon reaches out to CJ McCollum and like all this other type of stuff.
He shuts down any trade rumors.
Yeah.
And
I feel like this is like the new wave. And it's like, they're doing now what people were saying that LeBron was doing, where it's like now they're doing this thing where like they're almost like purposely sabotaging themselves. So that way they can be like, well, now you got to trade me. And it's like, and now you're going to trade me to like where I want to go and like all this other stuff. And a lot of people are saying it's New York. A lot of people are saying it's here. Cause like
James and Zyon come to New York.
Possible. Think about it.
No, I don't want to think about it.
Pumpkins on his way out.
I don't want to think about it. It's going to hurt.
But then like, what's called? I lost my train of thought.
All right. I'm sorry.
So like my thing is like, if you're the Pelicans, right? Like, Zion's rookie contract is getting ready to be up, and it's like now you got to get ready to sign extensions. If you're the Pelicans, are you signing him to an extension? Like, what have you done, bro?
No, I mean they kind of have to.
But that's what I mean.
Sell like, tickets, because even without him playing, they're still selling tickets.
Because that's like my thing is like we've gotten to the point now where it's like almost everyone has to sign that extension, but it's like he really might be the first person where it's like, no, we're not going to give this to you, bro. Like, you haven't done anything to earn this. Like, you're always hurt. You are gaining an extreme amount of weight. Like, you're doing like all this other stuff. Like, why would we sign you? We can really just and it's like, then you have to try to figure out what his trade value is. But like, you kind of got to play it like the way Ben Simmons did.
What does his trade value look like? That sounds crazy that they even bring that up. Because you want to say it's up there because it's Zyon, but you want to say it's not because he hasn't played no freaking basketball.
No, because then, like, you look at his fellow draft mate. Look at John Morant right now.
Oof.
And, you know, like, people are like, oh, is this a Greg Oden, Kevin Durant situation? And it's like, it's not, but it kind of is. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like I see it where it's like Ja Morant was probably the choice. But it's like, no, at the time, Zyon was definitely the choice. And it's just like, he's just made really poor decisions recently. And it's like, I feel like he's kind of doing what you're saying that James Harden is doing, where it's like, you putting the clump suit on and like, you're just like giving the most minimal amount of effort on like everything you're doing.
Right. Man, if that's a fat suit underneath there, I can't wait to see how this man looks in the New York Knicks jersey.
Look like Charles Oakley.
Stop it. Oh man. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, man. But like, I don't know. It just seems weird. It seems like you said, it seems to me like he's checking out and he's preparing for his major exit. Where that exit ends up being, who knows? Because he has 2 more years on his contract?
I think he has next year. That's it. So does that make it 2 years or 1 more year after this year?
I mean, yeah, you should say 1 more year. And that puts the pressure on the Pelicans to say, like, what are we really going to do? And they start having those real conversations. And I think it ends up with Zion not being in New Orleans.
If you're a newer team, or like not a newer team, but if you're an outside team, like if you're the Thunder, like, are you giving Zion the max to sign? Because like that's the thing is like the Pelicans are afraid.
Yes.
It's like we can't give you the max, but we know if we let you go, someone is going to give you that max.
Yes. Any other team is going to give him the max.
Which is crazy.
Reasons.
It's crazy, right?
Because he's still Zion. And they're gonna get that back off of ticket sales. Like some teams will do it just to sell tickets. So I can already see if this man ends up in New York, man, they're gonna play the Fabulous song. You know what I mean? It said, I got a pair of Timbs for you, baby. Come on over. You know what I mean? So
are those the Cole Anthony Timbs that he's rocking?
It's like I say, Knicks can still win a dunk champ. If we can't win nothing else, we can always win a dunk contest.
What does an Obi Toppin Zion front court look like?
That looks crazy, to be honest with you.
I think the defense looks crazy.
Oh, no, cut it out. I think they're going to be throwing double alley-oops to each other all game.
I wanted to touch on this other thing. And ESPN, because of the 75th anniversary, released their rankings of the 75 best players of all time, and they put them in order.
Okay.
This is ESPN's order. I'm going to read it from 10 to 1.
I'm going to close my eyes to visualize.
Okay. Number 10, Kobe Bryant. Number 9, Oscar Robertson. Number 8, Tim Duncan. Number 7, Larry Bird. Number 6, Bill Russell. Number 5, Wilt Chamberlain. Number 4, Magic Johnson. Number 3, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Number 2, LeBron James. And number 1, Michael Jordan. Interesting.
It is interesting.
Now, Skip Bayless made his list too.
Okay.
I'm not going to read Skip Bayless's whole list. I'm going to give you like the highlights. So one player that's not on this list that was on Skip Bayless' list was Shaquille O'Neal.
Yes.
He took off Oscar Robertson.
Okay.
And he put Shaq on there, and I think Shaq was his number 3.
Okay.
His number 2 was Magic Johnson. His number 1 was Michael Jordan. His number 9 was LeBron James.
He does that on purpose.
He has to, right?
He does it on purpose.
So I think
Shaq has to be on there. I don't know who you remove from that ESPN
I think
list.
it's easily Oscar Robertson. I think Oscar Robertson's a little bit overblown. And it's like, I know it sounds crazy, but it's like Russell Westbrook did the thing that he did 4 times in a row. You know what I mean? And it's like, if anything, like, who's not on this list that you think should be on this list? And it's like, it's Shaq. Is Shaq the one?
Definitely Shaq. Shaq is definitely the one.
Steph Curry?
Steph Curry.
Kevin Durant?
No.
Not KD?
No.
Giannis?
We're talking top 10 all time. No.
Okay, I was throwing names out there.
I even feel like people have been super. I don't know how to say this where it doesn't sound disrespectful.
Okay.
But I feel like people have been super nice to Kobe because he passed away.
We could get into this Kobe thing if you want to, because that was one of the biggest outrages of this.
I'm not saying that he doesn't not belong on the list. Like it would take me time to build a top 10 list. Like I was
going to ask you if you wanted to do it.
We can do it. I just don't want to be put on the spot to do it because I really want to be able to like put a rational top 10 together and be able to explain it.
Okay.
But like I feel like Kobe's not going to be on somebody's top 10 list, but they they're doing it because of the tragedy. You know what I mean? Like,
so what I was getting ready to say is like the biggest outrage that has come from this is the fact that Kobe Bryant was 10.
Definitely, if he's going to be on there, he shouldn't be 10.
So then everybody's just like, yo, like you can't have. If Kobe's not in your top 3, I don't respect it. If Kobe's not in your top 5, I don't respect it. And like that's where I'm like, let's take it back a couple notches because it's like, and like I know I've been. That's the list. And it's like I know that I've been for a majority of my life is the Kobe hater, or it's like, but I feel like I'm more of a Kobe realist. And I don't think he belongs in the top 5, but I think he definitely belongs in the top 10.
I'm saying,
does that make sense?
I'm saying he's at 6 or 7.
Okay, 6 or 7.
6 or 7.
But it's like I think the one thing.
So he would be on my list.
He's on your 10.
So yeah,
he's in my 10.
I don't want to redirect from like people saying, "Oh yeah, you're saying Kobe don't belong in the top 10." I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I feel like other people are doing it out of respect of what happened to Kobe.
Mm-hmm. I also think that he was just a lot of people's favorite player. And it's like they have a hard time differentiating between my favorite and the best.
Again, I feel like a lot of people didn't start verbalizing that though until after Kobe passed away. Because everybody was like, oh, Kobe's this, Kobe's that. He did this, he did that. Like everybody was so critical of Kobe. Then he passes away. And now everybody's just like, oh, we miss Kobe. I love Kobe. It's just like, it's real ingenuine to me.
Disingenuine.
There you go. That's the word I was looking for. Okay. Let me try that again. It's real disingenuine to me.
Because people always say for a long time too. It's like, well, Kobe was the best player in the league, and I always was like, actually, he wasn't. Mm-hmm. Like like he played in the time where Shaq, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett were really dominating. Like at that time, was he the most dynamic and dominant shooting guard? Yes. I mean, there's also like your Allen Iversons, your Tracy McGrady's, your Vince Carters, but it was like all those guys never had the teams around them that Kobe had. And you know what I mean?
He even had a Steve Francis at that time too.
Steve Francis, well,
franchise.
Yeah, like a Houston Rocket. But it's just like, so like if you were below a lot of those guys during your time, like during like your heyday, in a sense, it's like then you got to be behind them all time, right? Like to me, that makes sense. I think Tim Duncan is the person that gets slighted the most.
Definitely.
Like Tim Duncan, I don't know if it's because of his quiet nature.
That's all it is.
But it's like I don't think people realize or remember how nasty Tim Duncan actually was, and the fact that like he used to give Kobe and Shaq
with
5, just same amount as Kobe.
Yes,
same amount as Kobe.
And he got his before Kobe.
He did get his before Kobe against the Knicks, but it's like like I think the general consensus is though, when you're talking about the 10 greatest players of all time, these are the 10 guys, and it's like whatever order that you eventually put them in, it's really based off of more preference than anything.
Yes. And that would shift out the last 2 on everybody's 10 list.
Right, and then like I said, like to me, Oscar Robertson doesn't belong on here. Probably, I think it is Shaq, and I think Steph Curry like has he has a right to be on there like as well. You know what I mean? So like, it really just all goes down to like, I also believe that to me, the top 3 are locked in. I think the top 3 are LeBron, Michael Jordan, Kareem. And it's like, to me, like those 3 are like, also whatever order you want to put them in. I think Kareem is kind of like always like the 3rd one, whether you have LeBron or Michael, like that's kind of like your whole thing, or your own thing, I should say. But it's like, these are the people, these are the guys. And like, yeah, I don't know if you had anything else you kind of wanted to add to that.
No, I think we talked about it. Like I said, I just feel like I don't even think those bottom 2 are always going to switch for everybody.
But I think,
and it's definitely going to always be based on preference.
I do think Kobe being 10, I don't want to say it's absurd, but it's a little crazy. But Skip Bayless having LeBron 9 was absurd.
Yeah,
that's absurd.
Yeah, you know what he was doing.
I mean, he's made his career trolling LeBron James and like doing.
He's watched the pod. He was trying to get at you because you know that's your boy.
I think he's 100% serious though. Like at the same time, like he might be trolling, but like I think he's gone so far where he's starting to believe all the stuff that he's saying about him.
And sometimes people say something to stay relevant so people can argue with them so they get airtime.
I don't know what I will sit in the suit across from Skip Bayless and be like, what are you talking about, bro? Like
I would love to see that. I would pay to see that. I would pay to be in the studio audience.
I would pay to go there and talk to like someone said I should have a spin-off podcast called what the fuck are you talking about? and my logo should be me doing this.
People trying to spin you off. Why people trying to spin you off already?
Why not? What's that?
You know what?
But just Just go watch them just like because like that's like my favorite thing is to like listen to people talk and be like, yo, what the fuck are you talking about? Like you just saying stuff. Like that's not how things work. It's like that. Like I'm like, yo, Skip Bayless, like in your heart
of the show.
Yeah, just what are you talking about? And like what Skip Bayless loves to do is like he starts to talk about like other stuff to get you super, super off track from what your original point was. And I'm like, no, bro. Like reel that joint back in. Like we're talking about this. Why are you talking about? Because Ray Allen saved him. Robert Horry, Derek Fisher have saved Kobe and Shaq.
Yep.
Steve Kerr, John Paxson, Scottie Pippen have saved Michael Jordan. So like people get saved all the time. Oscar Robertson saved Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Magic Johnson has saved Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Kyrie saved LeBron.
Kyrie saved LeBron. Like what are we talking about? Like this is what these players are around for. These are professional
saved Steph.
Yeah. I think Steph saved KD's career, if anything.
No, I'm talking about when he hit that 3 over LeBron.
Sure.
That was major.
I mean, I guess they won by like 12. It's like I guess this 1 3-pointer was major.
Started the 12.
How about all of those 3 Steph Curry hit over everyone? How about that? How about when Steph Curry was dragging their dead bodies around trying to guard Kawhi Leonard and go off for 35? Yeah. And it was like, hey, Boogie Cousins, what's up, bro? Let's talk about that. Like,
oh my goodness. Well, that's where I'm at with it.
Was that all we had for Hardwood Check-in?
Yeah, the last one was the top 10.
All right. Do you have what's called a cultural gem?
I do have a cultural gem.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Hey, we don't own the rights to that either. All right. So this week, I went a little soft for the ladies last week. I mean, chasing lyrics. All right. So I'm kind of get in between. Something still carefree. Still got kind of a love story in there, and I'm going with The Wood.
I thought you were gonna go Love Jones for a second. I was like,
nah, man, Love Jones is so easy because I feel like it comes on BET.
The love movie.
Right, it's the love movie. It still comes on BET as much as Baby Boy does. People are probably still watching that on date nights when they're like, hey, you want to hang out and watch a movie? Yeah, what you want to watch? Love Jones. You know what I mean? So it's,
It's like the way that you prove to a shorty that you're deep and intellectual. It's like, oh, this is one of my favorite movies, man. Love Jones. So I can recite the poem word for word. It's like, all right, bro.
So let me run off this cast. All right. So
there's a lot of bald blackheads down there. Like I was like, it just look like a box of milk duds in your phone right now.
Slim. All right. So we got Omar Epps, we got Taye Diggs, we got Richard Jones, we got Dewan Finley, we got Melinda Williams, we got Sean Nelson. We got Sanaya Lathan. Oh my goodness. We got Tamila Jones. We got Lisa Ray. We got DeAndre Bond, Stacy. I
just saw Stacy in something else too. Like he's in another movie.
Christina Milian was in this. Like,
Christina Milian?
Yes, bro. Like this is oh my goodness.
When you said Sanaya Lathan, I was like, Sanaya Lathan was in this movie?
Yes, this was crazy. It was crazy. So you can watch it on YouTube as always. You could also watch it on Amazon Prime and Vudu. I don't know what Vudu is.
Apparently Vudu got everything that you need, but it's like but you gotta pay $3 so
you definitely gotta pay $3.99. But yeah, that's our cultural gem for today. I do not have a raisinette. Do you have a nasty nugget for today?
I don't, but I did want to speak on The Wood for a minute because it is kind of like. I don't want to say it's the perfect, but it is like just a great coming of age movie in general.
It is.
But I think
it's the eras for me when you start from young and get to old.
I just think it's hilarious that everyone always confuses what happens in The Wood with Best Man. Like those two movies get mixed up all the time,
and it makes me so upset because it's like, oh, Black Brothers in Suits. It's got to be the same movie, like
because like even their like the suit jackets over the side with the arms like on the covers,
right?
But it was like
I know the difference between the two because I did the Terrence Howard at my aunt's wedding before, and I was like 13 when I did it too. Blew the wedding up. I'm just saying. For all y'all don't know, you'll figure it out. Watch the movie again.
I was gonna say, is that gonna be a cultural gem soon? Nah. Not the second. Apparently, the second one was good. I never watched it.
Maybe
what is it? Best Man's Holiday or something like that.
Stop it.
I think that's what it's called. I think
it's Terrence Howard playing the guitar in that one too. Like,
I'm pretty sure
it's a holiday. Name. Oh, that's a genuine. All right, my bad. Sorry to get you from your breakdown of the movie. Go ahead.
No, but it's just like it's a super dope movie, and it's like I think we all love Stacy. And it's like it's great to see like when he showed up in Snowfall, when he was in Dope.
Very underappreciated actor.
Yeah,
it just feels like he's
played himself, like he's just doing him.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Snoop on The Wire, like it was just like, oh, this is just what she is.
Right. But I know it's like like I just feel like he should have had more roles in a lot of different movies. But go on. Stacy is definitely a dope character.
I think if anything from the movie has like aged the best, I think it is Stacy.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But there's just so many like little gems where it's just like, yo, like the Tic Tacs, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like stuff like that. It's like little things like that. And it's just like the so like I think Ice Cube explained one time about Fridays. Like, why does everybody like Friday so much? Like, why does Friday like become this big thing? And he was like, at the end of the day, it's a movie about the day the bully gets beat up. And he's just like, when you break it down, like something as simple as that, and it's just like everybody wants to see the bully get beat up,
right,
type of deal. And it's like the Wood is just like, yo, like you and your boys are going to a school dance, and it's like your crush is going to be there, and like all this other stuff. And it's like, it's something that like almost everybody has gone through. Like no matter what your college, your color, your social economic status, your sexual orientation, like everybody has like that thing of just like, I'm hanging out with my friends and we're gonna go do this fun thing together, and like possibly like my crush is gonna be there, and it's like all this other type of stuff. And it's just like, and it's just like shenanigans along the way that take place, and it's like, you know, the growing up that they have to do and stuff like that. But it's just like, yo, it's a fire movie, bro.
Thank
you. It was a good pick.
Thank you.
I do like.
Appreciate.
I think it's definitely better than Best Man too. And like I never understood why people get it confused all the time, but I think they also came out around the same time, and people just be like, yo, it's four brothers or three brothers.
Right.
Like, that's really what it is.
Right. And there's no light skin guy, and he's not playing the guitar.
And I think what it really is though, because Tay Diggs is in both, right?
Yes.
So that's what it is. Tay Diggs is in both, and it's like the Wood and primarily takes place back in the day, but the adult scenes in it are.
And the other dude often gets confused for Morris Chestnut.
The other dude.
The guy who plays Slim in the Wood.
Okay. Yep.
Sometimes he gets confused for Morris Chestnut, which is in the best.
You could confuse me for Morris Chestnut all day, or Big Sean. What's up?
Or the guy from Superstore.
Thanks, Garrett. I shouldn't even said. I should have been like, guys, watch Superstore. Tell me who you think is me. I should have said it.
Definitely, but yeah, man, I think that's it.
Yeah, but like I think that's why it gets confused, because it's like the older people or their older versions in the Wood are at a wedding and stuff like that, and I think that's where the mix-up happens.
Right. Like black people don't get married that often like this night, so it's got to be the same movie. Like, no, it's not. There's
a reason they made two Best Man movies, because black people always get married more than once. It's like, yeah, look.
Yeah, that's crazy. I seen a video the other day. We'll end on this, but dude, there was a girl and a guy. They were black, and he's just like, "Yes, this is my brother, but kind of not like my brother, and we're in love." And then the white lady popped up, was like, "You're trying to steal everything, bro." Like,
we need our thing back. We need our thing back.
So yeah, man.
Look at us. Like, yo.
Yeah, so yeah, that's it, man. Episode 30, man. I'm super hyped, man. That 3-0 means a lot, man. We getting old, man. 3-0, man. Before you know it, we're gonna be at episode 70. Our episode's gonna get AARP, man. You know, we out here. All right. Quick announcement. We're down to the last couple pieces of merch. Somebody hit me up today. They about to grab the last hoodie. We got new designs coming out for the new merch that's coming out next. So just like we said, man, it's a good way to let us know who our A1 day one's been, you know, like who's been watching from the beginning, who picked up at what era, and those shirts are a representation of your support for us. So we appreciate y'all, and we will be able to show you the new design in a week or so, talking with that boy, that man G Head, about how those new designs look. Super hyped about it. So, you know, make sure you get your order. I know the Google Doc was a little confusing for some people, so we gotta make sure to do something where we can have something like on the YouTube channel, like, here you go, this is the stuff that you can get. All right, until next time.
Are we doing a new logo so that way I can get rid of my titties in the picture?
All right, well, I'm gonna talk to you in a little bit. All right?
It's my arms.
It's his arms. It's his. I believe you.
I wear my Wario outfit and everything.
I believe you, Garrett.